Hey everybody, welcome to week 3, money and banking. We'll get right into it. Got our scenery here. This is it said it was from Washington State somewhere, that's some of the scenery up there, and it does really look like that if you haven't been up there. Um, and before we get into the course room here, we'll do some of our inspiring here for you. I know some of you, you know, don't have problems. Others do, but everybody has little things that tell us that we can't do it or come up with excuses. So this one here is about the little voice in your head that says you can't do it, and so it's just lying to you. You can do it. And the other thing, what else here? You don't get better at running hills by walking them. And same thing with school. You have a certain pace you're supposed to go. And back on what I always say is it's an everyday thing, not one night a week where you cram and you just get stuff done and you don't learn it. So that's same concept there. So, and the other thing, all around this is being inspired. I try to come up with these little spiffy little posters and stuff to inspire you, but you know it's one thing for someone to inspire you, but then if you get the opportunity to inspire other people, that's where the other thing is. And so my question to you, you can self-evaluate yourself when people, we're at work or wherever, say, how's school going or something like that. A lot of responses are, yeah, it's tough. I'm still catching up. I'm having problems. So with that type of attitude, you're not necessarily inspiring people. Um, to look at education in a positive light versus, oh, it's just a struggle, it's terrible. The proper response, a lot of people, I run into when I ask them how to do it, they're like, hey, it's great, things are going wonderful. Loving it, learning stuff, all that stuff. Attitude is a big part of how well you can drive yourself, but also inspire people around you. And sometimes they may not even talk to you about it, but you can be inspiring people just through your own actions. They see you working, they see you happy, they see you accomplishing things versus always maybe complaining and struggling and, oh, woe is me, or is it Winnie the Pooh or one of those characters, um, so anyway, so that's, I just want, attitude and inspiring others is part of what maybe you should be doing if you're not already doing it. So all right, let's get into the course room. um, all right, so going over last week, discussions, all of you, most of you are in there doing real good on that. The homeworks, I haven't seen them all yet. Those I've seen were good. If there was an issue, I would have sent it back. I sent it back to you and sent, showing you how to do it here. The other thing I want to point out, I did have some inquiries, and sometimes there's not a whole lot I can do other than show you a pretty poster or something. But just to things to do is, one of the things I talked with one of the students about was how much time are you putting in. Usually, and I use the example of a math course. If we were in an algebra course or something, it's a lot different than some of these other courses because a lot of us had struggles with math, and we actually need someone to sit down with us and show us how to do things. These other courses like this one, same thing. We can help you, but the thing is, if you're not putting in that 10 hours a week, that's where the problem is. If you're having problems understanding, because most courses, the expectation is that a student is spending 10 hours a week on a course. Now, I realize not everybody can do that, but at the same time, if you're wondering why you're not getting it, that is one of the reasons. It's because you're not spending the time in. Me sitting in front of you, or any instructor sitting in front with you, and then, okay, let's go to chapter 2 and let's go to the third paragraph, and we go over it together, because that's something you have not done yourself already. That's not, it's helping you, but that's where the issue usually is, that I find is it's a time thing, and you have to manage your time, and that's why I talk about every day, not one day a week type thing. So anyway, but Okay, back on track here. So upcoming, so the assignments discussion, great last week. Upcoming week here, you got 3 chapters again. You got the chapters 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so 7 has to do with the stocks and how that works and other assets. Fascinating stuff because a lot of people don't understand how the stock market works. I didn't understand until I started working with Domino's and they started doing the thing of becoming selling the company to be a public company, and that's when I learned about things like preferred stock and common stock. There's preferred stock is a thing where people can invest when this company first starts, or to get a higher tier of the stock. So if something ever happens, they get first go at getting their money back. Whereas common stock, like we buy on a stock market type thing, is everybody else. But stocks are good, but everything you want to know about is in this chapter here. So there's that, and then on chapter 8 and 9, 8 covers how the banks work, and there again, interesting stuff, because how it all interrelates, how things like interest rates and other things are mentioned, and then that also carries into the government's role in banking. How does the whoops? Got all this stuff in here. How does the get out of there? How does the government involve? There's things like interest rates and things like that I mentioned. The government kind of controls where that's at, and there's 2 arguments on that. Sometimes when you get into the political, politicians making speeches and stuff about, oh, look, the interest rate's real low. Well, that's not necessarily a good thing. A real low interest rate, like where it's been, like the Fed's interest rate over the last however many years has been now, being like around 0, 1% type thing. That is not a good thing. That is there because the economy is in bad shape, and so to have it so low to try and help the economy, build or whatever. But and then if you get real high, that's also not good. So depending on what decade we're in, I remember back several decades ago when interest rates were like in the teens. So things like that, have impact. And the government kind of tries to control that so that banks don't go under. The Great Depression was an example where things went bad, and so a lot of regulation came after that to prevent those type of things from happening again. So, all right, so that's what the 3 chapters are. And the upcoming where are we discussion here? The assignments are the same. You got the 3 chapters. You're going to have the answer, the review questions to answer. And here, this one is interesting. What would you do with your money if you inherited $1 million? So there you go. That can be the discussion this week. As always, if you got questions or anything, get in touch with me. Let me know what's up. And our test question this week. Let me see. What do I got here? Get back up there. All right, so this is my test question. I try to find things that maybe I haven't shared before, and depending on how long you've been with me, you may have seen this one before, but just let me know what this is. This guy here is me. So just let me know what's going on in this picture, and that way we can know that you watched the video. All right, everybody, so have a great week. Any questions, as always, get in touch with me, and that'll do it. Take care.